finally, after 3 months, left my little Principe paradise, and I'm finally back on mainland Africa after like 3 days in Sao Tome. That was kind of a nice trip, but tiny bit stressful. I had to sort out a Gabonese visa, I had to book flights, run around, and my stay was kind of characterised by just trying to find places, getting lost, but accidentally finding them. So it was brilliant. I'd just like kind of walk around and take in the history of the place and see the markets and the sights and stuff. And yeah, it was kind of just like, there was a section in the guidebook which just said, day walking tour of Sao Tome. And it's like, brilliant, let's just do that. And that's pretty much all I did. But it was weird, suddenly like coming in from Principe and being in a city just full of cars and people and walking down the street and they were just littered with school kids. And I was so intimidated. There's just millions of them and I'm walking there. I haven't seen this many people in months. And cars and civilization and yeah, that was pretty weird. Just strange thing, just being surrounded by actual proper civilization and cars and people and things. So that was interesting. And then got my flight to Libreville, where I am now. And yeah, I don't really like Libreville. It's just a massive petrodollar kind of city. Just nice buildings, not very nice buildings, bit rubbish with a couple of nice establishments, no real tourists, and far too expensive for what it is, to be honest. So we'll just skip over Libreville, nothing really there, to be honest. Off into the jungle for a couple of days tomorrow. So let's see what happens.
3, 2, 1.
On the next day.
Finally back in the proper forest after a while. It's good to be back. So yeah, I kind of got on the train last night to Lope from Libreville. Almost Japanese in style, how good it ran. Apart from the every like 5 minutes the train just and stops and starts again. Really good. Set off exactly at the time it said. Arrived in Lope exactly the time it said. So kind of got into Lope at like 1 in the morning last night. I'm like walking around zombified, knackered. And yeah, finally just kind of get to my hotel. You know how it is when it's dark and you get somewhere and you have no idea. Got to the hotel, whatever, all good. Went to sleep, woke up this morning. Most amazing scenery. Just big, wide savannas surrounded by mountains and stuff. And then yeah, so Gislan comes, who's my guide for my time here, and we were supposed to be into Makongo, which is deeper in the jungle, for 2 days. And he kind of came in this morning, just like a bit of a change in plan, which is kind of classic Africa, and bit Virgin plan, Billy. I'm sorry, but can't go to Makongo. Why? Well, the road washed out. Right. He showed me his picture, and the road is just washed out, completely gone. Lorries overturned, absolute nightmare. So yeah, we go to this second place instead. Drive an hour into the Lope National Park, which isn't that far away, but it feels it now. It's amazing. Just kind of camping in a little spot in the jungle. And so yeah, we kind of went for a big 4-hour walk today. Didn't see much. We saw monkeys and like the most amazing blue bird thing, which I can't remember the name of, and some like buffalo. But no, amazing just to be back in the jungle and the forest and seeing everything, seeing like gorilla nests and just loads of tracks for everything you'd expect: gorillas, chimpanzees, leopards. I'm very, very excited for the next couple of days. And yeah, it's just being back in the wilderness.
3, 2, 1.
Day
2. Oh no.
Night 2 in the jungle in Makongo now, and today's been another very good day. Kind of, yeah, got up this morning to do like 2-3 hour walk through the savannah. That was amazing. The views are just incredible, just forest all around, just everywhere, lope everywhere. And that was amazing. Then we kind of set off for Mekongo, which is, we're here now. And Mekongo is basically a 2-hour drive outside of Lope. And that drive is just another one of just wilderness everywhere, just savannah, jungle, rivers, everything you can possibly think of. You can see it. I couldn't come to Mekongo yesterday because the road has caved in, and I was slightly dubious of whether it actually caved in, whether it was just a little ploy to not take me to Mekongo. But no, I went today and the road had literally caved in, just ridiculous. That brought up some rounds of C'est Afrique, c'est Gabon, and took me back to better times.
C'est l'Afrique.
And so finally got to Mekongo, and Mekongo is basically like a 15-year-old, like old guerrilla research camp, and it is cool. Just 12 kilometers down this track, and suddenly you pull up to a clearing with like maybe 8 wooden shacks in it, and it's cool, proper cool. And then basically, so we went out on a walk, me and Gislain, the guide. We were like, alright, let's just get out early evening. Went for a big walk around, and the jungle was just amazing. Just jungle everywhere, just fresh jungle, animal tracks, elephant prints. What you want, just everything. And it was amazing. We found some bush pigs, and then we heard some elephants. And I kind of decided I actually don't want to see elephants in the bush, because by the time you encounter one in the jungle, it's a scary thing, because he, she, or any of the 37 other genders you are allowed, is very close. And after all this, we get back to camp, the amazing jungle. Get back to camp, we just find fresh elephant prints coming straight out of camp. I'm like, oh, for God's sake. No, I don't have to leave camp. And then at the same time, we didn't have to leave camp again, because you could suddenly Gislain just went, there's chimpanzees, and I just looked at him like, and we're going to go and see them? And he's like, nope, tomorrow morning. So this is kind of where my adventure for the night ends. Waiting on a 5:30 wake up tomorrow to go find myself some chimpanzees. Boom. Last day in Mekongo was slightly disappointing. Well, not disappointing, but I hope for a little bit more. Because we heard the chimpanzee calls the night before and went out bright and early, 5:30 in the morning to go find these chimpanzees, and running through the forest. We don't hear anything. And of course, if you don't hear anything, you have no idea where they are. They get up early and they move around, and they're fast. So walking through, trying to find where they are, finding little tracks of fruit and little places where they'd been here and been there. And suddenly we hear these noises coming. It's like, where are they? We run through, try and find them, then it stops again. It's like, where are they? Where are they? Where are they? And after chasing them for about 2 hours, we'd get close and they'd run off. And we missed them, which was a massive shame. And at this time, we'd also seen so much like gorilla food left about from the afternoon before. And it's like, we're always so close, but it's so wild that you've no idea what you're going to see. And that's kind of exactly how it is. You've no idea where they're going to be and where they're going to turn up. All you've got is just the sound to work with, and sometimes even that isn't enough. It's so dense and difficult to kind of navigate around. But we did see elephants. Elephant. And that was, forgotten how magnificent they were after being completely inundated with elephants in Rwanda.
Listening to Harry Roger, innit?
And we also saw loads of amazing birds and loads of monkeys. More monkeys than you could wave a Wii remote at, I think. But loads of different species, and that was really nice. But they are dangerous. You don't want to go near monkeys when they're in the tree. As I said, there's loads of fruit. Me and Gislan are walking through the forest. The monkeys just throwing stuff at you. It's like, I want to throw stuff at them. Monkeys just lobbing bush mango at you. It's like, Jesus. Gislan got hit on the head. And it's like, it's a dangerous game the monkeys are playing there. Yeah, so I realised on the way when we were driving back from Makonga that life isn't very easy for the people. There were so many abandoned houses, and I was like, why are they all so abandoned? And yeah, it's because the people and the animals are in complete direct conflict with each other. Like, yeah, the elephants, the mandrills, the gorillas, the chimpanzees, they all come into these villages and just ravage all their food supplies. Or any of the food they're growing, it just gets eaten. And the leopards also eat the dogs and the livestock and stuff. And it's a massive problem with kind of moving into land which is where the animals are, moving into the jungle. You're just going to be in direct conflict. And these people here see massive kind of life-threatening problems where they actually can't live in these places anymore due to direct conflict with animals. So yeah, we kind of left the forest and it was my turn to get back to Libreville, taking the train back again. And my train was at 1:30 in the morning, I think it was supposed to be, which isn't a very convenient time for trying to work around sleeping and stuff. And it kind of got to 8 o'clock, I paid up, had my dinner, and Gislan went, okay, well, I'm going to go, see you later. I'm like, right, cool. He's like, walk to the train station whenever, and yeah, the train will come. Like, right. Cool, cheers, see you around. So kind of got to the train station, this tiny little train station just in the middle of the jungle. Lope's only small itself, but yeah, so I'm there and they've got massive bright lights overhead with little benches. And I'll go to sleep with my train. Asked the guy to come, told him I'm going to Libreville, tell him to wake me up if I miss the train. So yeah, cool. Lie down. There was just so many insects. There's just moths covering the floor, in the air, mosquitoes, midges. And this is the only time I think when socks and sandals are an acceptable thing to do. So I'm sat on this bench trying to go to sleep, and I do not want to get eaten alive by the mosquitoes. So I'm there, my sandals on, my boots are wet. My boots are wet, so I don't want to wear those. Sandals, socks, long trousers tucked into my socks, t-shirt, big jumper, and it's hot. So it's a sacrifice to wear a jumper. So up to here, eye mask on, big blanket, towel thing lying there. And they still managed to find ways to eat me. I got bitten here, and it somehow bitten through my clothes. It was horrible. But finally the train arrived at 3 o'clock in the morning. And that was, I kind of zombied walked onto the train, just looking like a mess. I hadn't showered properly in 3 days. And it's just like, ugh. And slept straight through to Libreville. Kind of wake up to occasionally see just jungle. And it's like, right, what is it? Jungle, more jungle, more jungle. Gabon has a lot of beautiful jungle.